All right, so meeting a Filipina in the Philippines. A lot of guys are coming out for their first time and they're asking me, should I meet a Filipina? Should I get online, way early and then have her waiting at the airport? Should I get there and should I hop on the dating sites? Or should I do it the old-fashioned way since you're such a prize over here? Well, let me break it down for you. So, first of all, do not get on the dating sites super early. Like a lot of people will hop on the dating sites 6 months, a year before. That's how you end up on Rafi Tulfo. A woman will have a way of making you feel like a boyfriend when she's got a whole husband or a whole Filipino dude having sex with her. Boyfriend, kids, a lot of different things. You have no clue who you're talking to. They're a stranger. Girls are extremely sweet and most are good, but scammers live online, as I've said 90,000 times. So, off the top right there, get online maybe 3 days before, if anything at all. Girls will kind of do the whole good morning, good evening, you're so handsome, and if you haven't heard that in decades, and be like, I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you, you're so amazing, and you love your eyes, love your this, love your that, whatever. That may or may not be true, depending on, what you actually look like. But yeah. So at the end of the day, hop on like 3 days before and you could see, possibly set up some dates with some girls if you want to take that route, if you want to do the online route, which I'll get into the other stuff later. But outside of that, refuse any type of a meeting at the airport. Basically just make sure that you get yourself off the plane and to your room alone. Why do I say that? Usually when you meet at the airport, you'll be meeting a family of 14 and you didn't understand that because you don't know the Philippines. You would need to ask if they're coming alone. They're usually going to bring a friend or they're going to bring a caravan of people. They have a resort booked for you to take care of all of them, which there's nothing wrong with that. If you've known someone for a year or you've met them before, it's not going to be that crazy for you, but absolutely unnecessary. You're going to be on a 30-hour flight more than likely. You're going to be exhausted. Get yourself home, get some rest. Get yourself to your hotel or your Airbnb. Get some rest, decompress. It's a brutal flight if you're not 20 and you've never flown that far before or whatever. So you want to give yourself a chance. So do that, and then if you meet a few girls, you're going to meet more than a few. So wherever you land, whether it's Cebu, Manila, whatever, there's going to be multiple candidates. I don't care if you got a 50-inch waistline or if you're Chad. There's going to be a lot of candidates. Okay, so then you need to figure out who do you like? Who's asking for money? Who's a scammer? Who's a ladyboy? Who's married? Who's attractive enough for you? Who's in the age bracket that you want? Whose personality do you like? If you've been able to, convey that with video calls or texts or whatever the case may be, and who can transport themselves to you, unless you want to be paying for, transportation or sending them money or whatever. Who can get themselves to you? That was always a big one for me, and you can set up a couple of dates. Do the date in a public place like a Starbucks or something. So if a person doesn't look like their picture, God forbid they're trans, they're married, they're weird, they're trying to ask for money, you can exit gracefully. Don't bring her straight to your place no matter how starved you are for sex or whatever. Be careful with that, man. So just set up a few dates and you can pick who you like. Or what I really suggest in the end is you can go either way. Online's going to be easy mode. I recommend pinalove.com. No, they didn't sponsor me, but that's just where I had my luck because I focused on that site. I'm sure you could do Tinder, Bumble, Badoo. Those are all good ones that I had used. But Pinalove was where I had my best success. It's really popping in the Philippines because everybody always asks me that. They should sponsor me, but they didn't. But, sorry. Yeah, at the end of the day, basically, what it comes down to is meeting in person is always better, and I'll tell you why. Then you can really feel the vibe for them. They can feel the vibe for you. You don't see somebody with old pictures or Photoshop pictures or 100 pounds ago pictures on both sides. You can really get a vibe for someone when you meet them at the mall or Starbucks or walking down a beach like this. Then you know if there's attraction or not. It's not like a maybe or like, you don't look like your picture. And honestly, someone can look like their picture. I've met girls in Las Vegas, for instance, that were total 10s. But something about them just bothered me, whether it was their voice or they could have had bad breath. It could be any little thing and I will disqualify that woman. So, if you're a picky guy or you weren't struggling in the States or you're not absolutely desperate, just meet in person. You can walk around and people are going to be absolutely way more friendly than you've ever dreamed of. Since like about 2018, since the Kardashians and Snapchat and OnlyFans and stuff took over the world, women aren't friendly anymore. I don't care what you look like. Unless I see you pull up in a Rolls Royce or pull up, you know, with Drake riding shotgun or something, they're not really interested. And I know that, like, even from guys that are way better looking than me, younger than me, it just ain't really happening anymore. You got to be like famous on Instagram. I mean, to get the top tier girls, obviously anyone can get a girlfriend, or, you know, I was not struggling by any stretch of the imagination. But the overall friendliness in day-to-day transactions, when you go to do this or that, the realtor that rents you your place will probably try to pick you up. The owner, I mean, I experienced all these things. When you go to a goddamn get your phone service, or your, you know, get a cookie or get a Starbucks or whatever, every single girl seems available to you. And the truth is, they probably are, especially if you're a younger foreigner that's not, you know, that has some type of SMV left. That's the honest truth. And even if you're not, I mean, just your skin color's a flex. Guys always lie to these girls and say, oh, I bought 7 condos in Makati, or oh, I own 7 houses in Texas. This ain't America. Your skin color's a flex alone. I know girls that are on YouTube that are 20 that are with 55-year-old guys that look 75, and they're glowing with pride. You know how women speak about that like foreigners? They say, I found a foreigner, I found an AFAM. You're literally not even talking about what you look like or how old you are. It's just, you bagged a foreigner. That's a badge of honor, and you are rich in this country, you know? So that's the truth about that. And it's always better to meet in person, because then you can really understand who you're meeting. You can maybe even go on an instant date, like grab a coffee, walk down a beach like this. You can kind of get a feel for that person rather than having to just go in blind and, you know, you're getting a 5-year-old picture, a photo, face-tuned, photoshopped thing. And like a lot of these girls that are like transgender look very good and stuff, and they won't admit that they're transgender. Just, you don't want to really get into that. Just meet someone in person. It's relatively easy. You just have to have the nuts to walk up and talk to them and say that they reject you. Say they're not into foreigners, their boyfriend's in the bathroom, whatever. Who's gonna know? You and them. Deal with it. You'll probably have a 50% success ratio if you have any sexual marketplace value at all. In America, even if you're the biggest Chad in the world, you're gonna be looking at like a 10% you know, rate of return on that. So just be realistic and do that. So I always advise, if you're an extroverted guy that's handsome or that's confident, walk up, head held high. You can make random conversation with people. You don't always have to make it like awkward and weird. If you know how to speak to women very well, like I do, you should have no problem at all meeting a girl at Starbucks, walking down a beach like this. Worst case scenario, you know, they got a boyfriend or something, you should be fine. So at the end of the day, I always suggest that, but you guys do whatever you want. You want real easy mode, or you're an older guy, or you're going to a remote area to find a province girl, yeah, hop online. You'll have hundreds of messages before you know it. It's definitely really, 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 really easy mode, but be careful, man. Be super careful with that, and don't, you know, never meet online or go online 6 months before, a year before, and then start sending money and sending load. Never ever do that. As I've said a million times, sending load is just simply taking your temperature to see if you're comfortable sending money to strangers. Once you have that woman's PayPal or Gcash information or something, they will continue to request and request and request, and her phone's broken, she needs money for the bus, she needs money for Angus, she needs money for Grab, she needs money, she needs money, she needs money. Once you've shown that, hey, I'm a trick sugar daddy, I have low self-esteem, and I send money to strangers, her and her Filipino boyfriend will be, you know, staying at the Asia right here on you before you know it. And then you'll come out here to pop up to surprise her, and you'll see her with her 3 children and her Filipino husband that's bending her over with your money. So don't do it. Don't be a sucker. Don't be a simp. Put yourself on an airplane, as I've said a million times. And at the end of the day, man, always try to meet in person. You want easy mode, or you're in a remote area, hop online. You'll be confused because you'll have so many options. I suggest just going on one site. I suggest Pina Love. You can do Tinder Pro for $1.99 3 days before you come here, just to check it out. You can hop on Pina Love anytime. It's just like the easiest thing in the world, and you will be shocked at your value on these white sand shores, or in the city of Manila, Cebu, Dumaguete, Angeles City. But Angeles City is sort of angled toward pay for play, so probably avoid that. But yeah, at the end of the day, guys, I mean, there's a lot of good here in the Philippines, and most girls are great, but, you know, be careful online. I suggest in person, especially if you're a confident gentleman. If not, online is going to be the easiest thing ever. You'll be shocked beyond belief if you even do the little test where you do Tinder Pro, or you hop on Pina Love right now after watching this video. Let me know in the comments if you did try that. And right here in Boracay Island, deep in Station 3 by one of my favorite resorts, Asia, almost rivals like the Shangri-La or something. I looked at the rooms the other day. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and sana all. Secret Beach, Station 3, I know.